Hi there, it's Natasha and thank you so much for joining me today. Today I want to show you these lace washi tapes. Now I showed these in a haul a little while ago and I kind of just wanted to give you a couple of really quick ideas about how you can make quick and easy cards using these. So I am just unrolling this white one here. I got one white one and one black one, and they are super easy to line up side by side so that it looks like the pattern has continued, and I am just sticking them down. Now the adhesive on these is pretty good. Maybe if you put it in the wrong place you could maybe lift it up, but yeah, it's pretty good, and so I know that it's going to be nice and secure when I put it down on my background. And then I am just going to turn it over and take my large pair of scissors and chop around the outside, and so that it's all nice and neat. Now this is one of the easiest ways to kind of just make a background super fast. I mean, it could not be easier than just sticking down this pattern, and look how pretty it looks from the front. So that is one piece ready to go, and now I'm going to quickly turn it into a card for you guys just so that you can see what I do with them. So I have got here this thankful die, and it's a stamp and die. Now I did get this from Aliexpress as well, and if I can still find it, which I'm not sure, just because I got it so long ago, but I will link it down below if I can still find it. Now I have been reaching for these Ombre Ink Pads. I have the yellow, the pink, and the green, and I'm just going to start off kind of angling the ink pad, and I'll do the top in the lighter yellow, and then angle it towards the orangey colour at the bottom. I have had these Ombre ink pads for maybe about 2 years. I did a review on them when I very first got them, like a couple of years ago on this channel, and these are still the same ones, and they are amazing. So I have been reaching for them so often again. I've kind of refound them, and I'm loving them. So I've actually ordered a couple more colours, because they're maybe about 80-90 cents each US. So super cheap and a really good way to get some good vibrant colour on there. Now I use that honeybee stamps set there to stamp the thankful for all you do. And I just need a bit of a quick frame to kind of centre the sentiment and kind of make it stand out a little bit more. So I have this frame set here again from Ali, and I think I showed this maybe in my last haul video, and I've just cut it out in some plain white cardstock, and this is Alina's foam tape here, which I absolutely love at the moment, and I am going to put this all around the outside just so that it makes the frame stand out nicely. I must say, the washi tape does make the background quite busy, so you want to keep the front kind of plain and not too much more going on because it is a really busy background. And while I've got a second, what I am going to try next is using it as a kind of a mask or a stencil. So what I would do is I would take a little bit off the roll, maybe 4 or 5 inches, 6 inches, and I would stick it down on my clothing a few times so that it took away some of the stick and it wasn't quite such a strong adhesive on it. And then that way I could put it down on my paper, and then I want to like ink blend over top of it and get some lovely colours that way. So I didn't do that in this video, but that is something that would work really well, I think, with this lace tape. Now, when I was putting this all together, I felt like the sentiment just didn't quite stand out enough from that background, so I bought in a piece of vellum, and I'm just going to adhere that onto the back of the foam tape. You can see I have taken all of the release paper off the back of the foam tape, and I'll just cut off that extra little bit of vellum, and then that way it just kind of makes the sentiment be able to stand out a little bit more from that busy background. And then just to super quickly finish it off, I am going to use another little bit of foam tape, and that will fit really nicely behind the sentiment, the thankful word. And again, this is the foam tape from Alina, which is nice. I think it's 3mm wide, which is perfect. I love this foam tape. There's also a slightly wider one as well, which is fantastic. But yeah, I'm definitely finding the skinny one is awesome, and you can cut it in half easily, and it doesn't, clog up your scissors and get all yucky. It's a really great foam tape. So that's card number 1 all finished. As I said, this was just a really quick video to kind of show you how you could put together these cards using the lace tape as a background. So here's the black one that I purchased, and this one is it's like a different pattern. It's not the same pattern as before, and it's ever so slightly skinnier, not quite as wide. But I do love both of these, and I'm pretty sure there was a lot of other patterns to choose from. So you're not limited to these two, but these are just a couple that I wanted to try. And you can see it's also really easy to match up the patterns. It's not hard to figure out where it should go. So I'm just sticking this one down, and this one is almost 3 wide, but I'm going to do exactly the same thing, turn it over and cut off the excess. It does make it really easy when you have a nice long bladed pair of scissors, but any scissors will do the job perfectly. And this one is going to be somewhat similar. This is a frame set that I purchased recently, and you are meant to take it apart because it is just meant to cut the outside of your pattern. But because I left them all joined in together, it gave me a whole lot of lovely frames because the next size down kind of cut the inside of the frame for me. So that was a bonus of not pulling them apart just yet. And I have this happy birthday die here. This is also one from Ali. And with this one, I am going to go for the green ombre. So I have these finger daubers here for ink blending, and I am loving these at the moment. I can get such a smooth blend with these. And obviously not for kind of larger projects, but definitely for smaller projects. And I just have one finger dauber dedicated to each colour, and I find just tapping it off, kind of rubbing it off on some scrap paper does the job perfectly to clean them in between different shades of the green. So it's okay when I'm going this way because I actually started with a new one, I think, this time. So I'm going from light to dark. But you'll see here in a minute I am going to just wipe off all this dark one and go right back to the light colour, and it works perfectly. Now, I usually use the ink blending tools from Ranger, I think they are, or you can get them several different brands these days. But they're great for really kind of bigger things. But for me, it's much easier to get these finger daubers out. So I have been reaching for these for the last few weeks and absolutely loving them. So these are from Ali, and I'll link them down below in case you're interested. But the next part of this video is a lesson on that we should do as I say and not as I do. So I am going around the outside of this frame. I wanted to incorporate the frame a little bit more than what it already was. It kind of didn't feel like it stood out enough, and so I decided to go around the very outside just with really lightly with the green. And even when I'm looking at it here, I think it doesn't look right. It doesn't even look good. But anyway, so it sits there for a minute, and I'm going to adhere down this happy birthday die cut to a die cut happy birthday out of fun foam. So I just ran it through again with some plain white fun foam, and that way it'll give it some lovely dimension. And I'm still thinking about the frame at this point, and I can see it sitting there beside me, and I don't like it at all. So I start here, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing with the vellum, just so that it makes the sentiment stand out a lot better. And I have used some double-sided tape this time to stick it down before I put the foam tape on. So this time I'm thinking. And this is Alina's double-sided tape, which is great. It's very sticky and very strong. So I'm going to put down my vellum, and this is where I just can't stand what it looks like. And so I've already put the vellum down, and I can't take it back up, but I can't leave it like this because I don't like it. So I am going to take my finger dauber and go over the whole frame with this, what's kind of left on my finger dauber. I actually don't end up re-inking it very much at all because I just want it to be a nice light coating of the green so that it will match my green from my sentiment, and that even is much better. I just feel like it ties everything together better than the white did. Anyhow, so I am putting some liquid glue, and this is a glue bottle from Ali as well, definitely one of my favorites, and I will adhere that straight down onto the vellum. And then I decided to cut down my little washi tape panel just a little bit so that I could see the white from the card base around it. And this cuts beautifully. So I was a little bit worried about it bunching up with the trimmer, but it cut beautifully and I didn't have any problems at all. So I'm just going to adhere this layer down flat, and then I'm going to add some foam tape to the back of my frame and stick that down. So nice and easy. Again, this is the perfect width of foam tape. And any second, one of my filming lights is going to go out, so that's why it'll go dark. But anyway, I hope this video gave you some ideas of how you can use this washi tape or lace washi really simply to create some nice, quick, easy, fast cards. And I also wanted to let you know that I currently have a giveaway going through my Facebook page, so there is a link to that down in the description box below. And that giveaway will close on Friday the 20th of September at midday New Zealand time. So head on over there if you are interested. Other than that, thank you so much for watching today, and I will see you in the next video. My daughter is giving this video a big thumbs up at the end because this washi tape was one of the funnest ones that she got to play with, she said. So thank you so much. Bye.